Hello everyone and welcome to For the Minions, a weekly update on post-Paragon MOBAs. Today we're going to go over some news and updates. We're going to do an interview with us actually, and we kind of had to move the schedule forward a little bit, which means we couldn't really do an interview, so we're just going to do kind of an AMA with us. Then we have our discussion topic picked by a pirate, which I need to introduce my co-host. The discussion topic picked by pirate is what is the most important aspect to make a game fun. And so, yeah, introducing my two co-hosts that are joining me today, as always, starting with my brother from another mother, it's Arrg the Pirate.
Hello! How's it going, guys? Great to be here as always, Mongoose. I love doing these For the Minions, man. These are so much fun.
And then my sister from another mister, it's Mandy Mal.
That's me. I am looking forward to this one. We got some good stuff to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Even though we pushed the schedule up, we do have a lot of updates. So let's get into it. Let's get into the news and updates right now. So for Meta Buff, despite what I just said, we don't have shit for Meta Buff. It's a big machine over there, so we're not. They're not really keeping us as informed as some of the other companies. That's not to say that they don't have things going on. Maybe that's what it is. They have so much going on that they can't really stop to talk to the minions. But yeah, we got really nothing for Meta Buff.
We're trying. We're trying.
Yeah, we are trying. And then for Omega, they are adding functionality to the active cards, stuff like cooldowns and charges and stuff like that. So it looks like they're going to have I think active cards are really the way to go. Like I was talking to one of my subs about the card system. They were saying that they preferred the version 42 card system because of the more active cards. I think if they would have had active cards with the old card system, I think that would have been perfect. No gems, just active cards. That's all I want.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's very true about the active cards in V42. Where we could have talked about that in our pros of V42 last week.
Well,
we're talking about it now.
That's right.
The 6-card system had quite a few of active cards, though. We had Purity Sensor and Quenching Scales and things like that. But the biggest difference, I would say, was the passive cards. There weren't really passive cards in the 6-card system. In the 3-card system, every card was a passive card. They all had some kind of passive effect or an active effect, or both. There might have been one with both. I think
there were active passives, I would say.
Right.
Stuff like Stinger Boost used to be, or what was OPD Militia? Is that what they called it?
Yeah, OPD Militia. Yeah. Yeah. And that was like a toggle on and off card too. So I think we don't really see a whole lot of active cards in, of course, I can't speak for all MOBAs, but like Smite, the actives are the relics. That's it. You don't put on an active item. And so I think, Paragon was very, very unique in that aspect. So I'm definitely interested to see how Smokey implements the item system but has active items. That's going to be very, very cool. And, he has popped into chat and hang out with us a few times. And yeah. he told us some really cool things that he's doing with the card system and just the progress that he's making. Guys, I'm blown away with how much that man can do. So
yeah, if you guys want to catch a wild Smokey, create a Discord server and then everybody hang out and voice chat for a bit. You'll eventually
Wild Smokey appears
every time. It looks like they're also calibrating skills and hitboxes, so some behind-the-scenes stuff that's very exciting to know about. I think Smokey said that he tries to give us a little more exciting updates for the minions, but I think that is exciting that they're calibrating the skills and the hitboxes, because that's what's going to make the game work and that's what's going to make it fun. Without that stuff, it's going to suck.
Yeah.
So.
Could you imagine playing Narbash with a hitbox the size of Countess? Like,
like I swear,
I know I'm hitting this guy.
Or Countess with a hitbox the size of Narbash.
That would be rough. That would be real rough.
Getting stuck in doorways and shit.
Yeah, getting stuck, like just crazy stuck. Yeah. And then, you know, I think it's really cool about, like, Rampage is really the only guy that grows, but, you know, his hitbox completely changes when he grows. And so that's going to be something that,
interesting.
You know, Smokey's going to have to, you know, conquer. And trust me, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to have one of my buddies just sit there and enrage, and I'm going to find all the little spots that he's immune at. But, yeah, I think, you know, man, it is so cool that that he's just making such great progress with the game. I'm definitely excited for Predecessor.
I agree.
Any final thoughts?
Just kind of what Pirate said. It looks amazing. I'm so impressed. I'm constantly impressed with him. Somehow he makes those tiny little details just seem so extraordinary. So yeah, it's just really fun to watch. I think that's part of it, is he makes it so engaging and fun.
While we're talking about this, have y'all seen he added a sound effect to Sevarog's Ultimate? I'll go ahead and put the clip in here, but sounds really, really good.
The audio for Sevarog's Colossal Blow skill. So his ult should now have an audio to it. So let's see what that sounds like, okay? I hate you so much.
Sounds scary.
Yeah. Oh man, that's an awesome one.
Pooping my panties.
Oh man.
Pretty cool stuff.
Pretty good stuff. Yeah.
Moving on to Ethereal. They're currently working on particle and splash effects, which is another kind of small, minor detail that is going to have a huge effect on the gameplay. One of the things I think that they really need to focus on is keeping the particle and splash effects kind of to a manageable level where people with any computer can still play the game on, you know, various settings. That was one of the problems that I think Paragon had in its earlier iterations. If you had a huge team fight going on, my computer at least would kind of freeze up and slow down a bit.
Or like with remember when Howitzer, his old Ultimate, where the numbers were flying everywhere, and yeah. So yeah, I completely agree. And you know, one big thing that I always preferred the particle effects in Paragon because they seem so much faster. You know, it was you know, Gideon's Rock would hit the ground and break apart, and then I think they even removed most of the breaking apart in Monolith. But, you know, as opposed to something like Smite where there's stuff lying on the ground constantly, you know, everybody's got thorns popped, or, you know, there's like a shield effect or things like that. Smite can get very, very chaotic. I know personally I've killed myself many times on thorns because, you know, I don't realize this guy's used it because there's fire everywhere and everything else. So I always preferred the Paragon's particle effects, and it'll be interesting to see how Ethereal kind of implements those particle effects, because Ethereal, I would say, out of the big four we're covering, they're the most unique. You know, they're pretty far out there compared to you know, your typical MOBA. So it definitely will be interesting to see how they handle those.
Yeah, I'm really excited to actually see them once they get them, you know, kind of get them to a point where they can give us a little sneak peek. Because I think it's a beautiful game. So I'm excited to see, you know, little updates. I want
to go hit something with a giant axe.
Speaking of beautiful game, they released some art. It's Grognark. They released his splash art last week, and now they released kind of his in-game model, which, what'd you say it looked like, Mandy?
He looks like, okay, I don't know if it's just me because I'm the weird animal girl, but he's kind of adorable. He looks like a little aardvark or something.
I don't think that's what they were going for.
I don't think it was at all. I don't think it was at all, and I promise it's probably just me.
No. When I saw it, I thought it was a pangolin actually, but pangolin aardvark's the same damn thing, really.
Yeah, it kind of does. It looks like a monster that like crawls under the sand and pops out and grabs you, or something. Yeah.
That's like supposed to be.
Yeah, and I think they've captured it. It looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, it does look good.
He's not quite as big as I thought he'd be. Like, I thought he was going to be like a boss or something with the splash art. Like, and then it's like, oh, he's
an entire lane himself.
Yeah.
So moving on to Visionary, we have updates for Visionary. Yay! Okay, so they've been setting things up server side that are almost complete, and they've completed account registration and login modules. Kind of goes along with not the most exciting and fun to look at stuff, but they're progressing on their game. They've almost completed the friend system, and they've been able to all get in and talk on that. So they really are sticking with what they told us they were going to do and focus on functionality before they started to focus on making things look pretty. And it sounds like they are making good progress with that. They've narrowed their focus and they're moving forward.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the nerd in me or what, but those updates were so exciting to me. I was like, what? Login modules? Like, that's... But that's awesome, and I think it's really cool that they're, working on that, the being able to get in there and talk and everything, the friend system, whatever they call it. I was really excited, I think, just to have anything but from Visionary, but they were really cool updates, at least in my opinion, so.
I agree. They went through a little rough patch, and that hasn't stopped them. They said, "Hey,
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and focus on this, get it nailed down real good while we're getting other things straightened out." And so they're still making steady progress, and everybody needs a friend system. So great update.
Friends.
I don't want no friends.
So moving on, the interview this week, like I said, we bumped up the schedule, so I wasn't able to interview anybody. So we decided to kind of do an AMA with ourselves. Went through, Pirate put together some questions, and it was pretty much the same questions I was going to put together. It was just stuff that we normally get asked on our channels. We're just going to go through and answer them. And oh yeah, I should probably explain. I'm going to start wearing like the most cheesy Walmart T-shirts I can find. So.
Looking good, man.
That was a good one for your first one. That was a good one.
Enjoy that. We'll see if I can top it next time. See if I can get some unicorns going. Okay, so let's get on with this interview with us. So what got you into gaming? Let's start off with Arrg the Pirate.
So, my dad had Atari whenever I was little. But I think the thing that I was like, okay, I'm a gamer now, was I don't remember how old I was. I was pretty young, and we went to Malibu Grand Prix, and instead of going around the race cars, I stayed inside and played Dig Dug until I ran out of quarters. And I would have to say Dig Dug is the reason I am a gamer. That game's awesome, by the way, if you haven't played it. Like, yeah, that... Who can argue with an old retro game? But I've kind of been a gamer my whole life. But that's the one moment that I can remember distinctly going, holy crap, video games are awesome! What about you, Mandy?
Mine's kind of similar. My parents actually bought me a Super Nintendo, whatever year they came out, they bought it for us. And I was just hooked and never really looked back. I went from that to little handheld consoles like Game Boy, and then Xbox, and now PS4. And then I remember, I think the moment that, like how Pirate was talking about my gaming moment, was I got my first job and saved up so I could buy my first gaming computer. And so that was kind of like my moment, like, I am all in this.
Once you devote that much money towards a gaming system,
like
a computer just for gaming.
Yeah, computer just for gaming.
You're in it.
You're in it.
That's right.
What about you, Mongoose?
Well, for me, I mean, I played games when I was a kid all the time. I think what really got me into like a lot of online gaming, when my first deployment to Afghanistan, I was still married at the time, and my ex-wife played World of Warcraft, which I used to make fun of her so bad for. But she suggested that I get the game, and I did have internet access while I was over there. So it was kind of a way for us to connect and do things together while I was deployed. And yeah, I kept the gaming, dropped the wife.
Yeah.
Let's move on. What is the nerdiest thing you have ever done? Let's kick it over to Mandy. She showed us earlier.
So I guess we're gonna insert the picture, but
I'll do it. I'll do it.
My nerdiest thing I've ever done is cosplay. So I dressed up as Bulma from Dragon Ball Z.
Nerd.
And I didn't have a great picture, but we have a picture.
Good old cosplay.
Does Bulma in Dragon Ball Z wear a shirt that says Bulma?
She does indeed.
Does she
it's
really?
actually a dress. She does, yes.
Just in case you forget your name.
Right. Yeah.
I moved on from Dragon Ball Z to adult animes like Flying Witch and Mrs. Vampire who lives in my neighborhood.
I have not watched those.
I know. They're for little kids.
I'm just not. I've never really been super into anime. I don't have a problem with it, but I didn't watch TV whenever I was growing up, and so I like my parents just forbid it, and so I missed all the TV shows. I think if I would have grown up watching Dragon Ball Z, but like I don't even know who Bulma is. So.
So what's the nerdiest thing you've ever done?
So I've thought about it a lot. Like, I've done some pretty nerdy things, but, like, nothing like dressing up as a character. But, I would have to say the nerdiest thing I ever did was when I was 18, I used to play a game called America's Army. And I love that game. The new one, it's not the same. But, I actually had a tournament because I was on this little team. And I quit my job at Hollister to play on that tournament. I think that's probably the nerdiest thing I've ever done. What about you, Goose? What'd you do?
I don't know.
Started a YouTube, nerd.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Like, I do anime reviews on
that's up there.
That's up there.
Don't worry, you're a nerd.
Made a Richter hook.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the
real life Richter hook.
Perfect example.
Maybe next for the minions I'll role play Kratos from God of War.
Oh hey. You gotta
roleplay, but
you gotta wear a Walmart shirt while doing it though.
Oh yeah, of course. Matches.
Oh,
and so next question: Desert Island with games. I'm assuming that means which games you would pick if you were stuck on a desert island.
Yeah. So, man, this one's hard because I'm thinking if it's a desert island, you probably don't have internet access. So, you know, let's say.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't either.
So I'm gonna go with Duke Nukem for the Sega Saturn, Ready to Rumble for the Dreamcast, and Power Stone. Yeah, Power Stone. Probably Power Stone because that game is the shit. So there's my three. What about you, Mandy?
Well, I definitely didn't think about the whole I figured if you're on a desert island and you have a video game, like, that's
internet
crazy anyways, but I chose more modern ones. I chose Destiny, because Destiny 2 specifically, because that's my jam and I will forever love it. And I think now I'm going to change my answer. I was going to say Assassin's Creed, but now hearing some of your more retro choices, there was a Lord of the Rings game. I can't remember the name of it, but it was on the original Xbox, and it was like turn-based fighting, and it was so good. I played it like 6 times, played the entire game, so I would bring that. And then if I'm on a desert island with video games, obviously this is kind of in a realm of weird possibilities. So I'm going to have Paragon. I'm going to bring Paragon back to heaven with me.
See, I would have said Paragon, but I thought playing against bots would get pretty boring after a while.
I didn't think this through. I obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say Paragon too. I mean, yeah, if you don't have internet access, I guess Astyanax on the Nintendo, Eternal Champions for Sega Genesis.
Hey, that was a good one.
Childhood here. I don't know. That's it. I would bring D&D and hopefully find some.
There you go.
Play with a coconut.
There you go.
Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson.
Paladin Wilson. So, what made you start YouTube? There's a good one. That one gets asked a lot.
Yeah.
Why don't you go first, Mongoose?
No.
Oh.
No, I started YouTube because I've always been like kind of creative, but I've never had a creative outlet. I can't play any instruments. I can't sing. You guys know that from those rap videos I did. And
you wear bad shirts.
Can't wear bad shirts. Finally found a way to kind of express myself via YouTube, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I just started doing it. Yeah, that's it for me. How about you, Pirate?
So I started YouTube because of Paragon. I know life every game that I play. I was a big Destiny player. I played the Division. I played everything, but Paragon. I remember I used to play with this group of people, and we'd get one or two new people to come in, and they were always terrible. It was just like, hey, Jeff over there, come play with me. And, we were trying to explain the game to them while playing it. And it just wasn't working. So I said, you know what? I know how to play this game, and I'm going to start YouTube. And then I started playing with, some of my subs, things like that. And I went, hey, man, there's just a complete lack of people out there making guides and things like that for low-level people. I'm not trying to get somebody from diamond to master. I'm trying to get someone from bronze to gold. And, I would have to say we were pretty successful. All of us, in the now Minions Discord, we had a huge, group of people that were just all devoted to helping each other. And that's really how my YouTube started, was just trying to help people get a little bit better at the game. And I tried to do it on Smite, but it just wasn't the same, man. What about you, Mandy?
Well, my answer's not anywhere near as cool as you guys. I just thought it looked like fun. I thought it looked cool. I discovered, this huge gaming community on YouTube, and that's where I was like watching a lot of stuff. And I do have to say it was mostly Paragon, I think, that got me interested, because I was watching people post their guides and their gameplay and stuff. And like, I would be playing with my husband, and we would be having so much fun and like cracking jokes, and these hilarious things would happen, or we would have these amazing like plays, and I was like, oh, this would be so cool to share with somebody. So I started trying to record gameplay, and I think I only posted like maybe 2 or 3 gameplay videos, and then it was like, oh, guess what? Paragon's going down the crapper. So I actually thought, that's it. I'm not going to do YouTube anymore. Like, what is there for me to do? And then I just really missed it. And I just was like, you know what? It's something I've always wanted to do, that I always thought was really cool. And I like talking to myself. So, so I just started talking to a camera.
Fun fact, I didn't actually start on Paragon. I started with Conan Exiles.
Hey.
Oh.
So, do you have any advice for someone who wants to start making content?
My advice would be, do it for free. Like go find free editor software. Go find free thumbnail stuff like what is it? Adobe Spark. Do everything for as free as possible. Try it out, and don't put regulations on yourself. So with me, my very first video, like guys, I don't know much about computers. I know how to play games. My first video took me 18 hours, like no joke. I had no idea what I was doing, and from the first video, I turned around and did it again, and I came out with daily videos. I've got like 500 videos now. And until, the very end of, just until like 3-4 months ago, I did daily videos either on Paragon or Smite. And, You know, you look at the YouTube numbers and go, oh man, I need to make more content so I get more subs and get more people to watch. Guys, it's just going to take time. If you really, truly enjoy doing it, do it for yourself, and then people will watch you enjoy doing it. That's kind of my biggest advice. Guys, I've spent a fortune on... You know, my computer's $2,600. I've got an Xbox One X. I've got a PlayStation Pro. I've had 3 different mics. This headset right here costs $200 and something. I've spent a fortune on YouTube, and you know, you don't really have a return. So not for a very, very long time. So if you enjoy doing it, start out for free, and then slowly go, okay, I want to do this, that, things like that. One definite thing is audio is key. If you have bad audio, no one wants to watch your videos. That's my piece of advice. What about you, Goose?
You kind of have to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to be like a successful YouTuber? Do you want to just, you know, share videos with friends? If you want to be successful, you're going to have to find an in. You're going to have to find something that's unique to you that you can bring to the community, because everybody's already doing videos. Everybody has their favorite YouTuber, and they're all doing the same exact shit. If you do if you try to emulate them and do the same exact shit that they do, nobody's going to watch you. Why would they watch you when they've already got their favorite that they already watch? For me, it was humor. I've always been kind of a funny guy, so that's what I brought into my Paragon videos, and that's when I really took off, is when I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to be myself. And yeah, and that worked out a lot for me. It doesn't have to be humor, though. I mean, if you just happen to be really artistic, I know there's one of my subs, Shark Z, has a channel that he does really nice sort of cinematic Paragon stuff. I mean, he used to when Paragon was a thing.
He still does every once in a while.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and then like, you know, maybe you're into psychology. Maybe you have a degree in psychology or some crap like that, or you're just studying it in college. You know, try and get into the psychology of a player that's playing in the off lane, or playing the psychology of a player playing support. Something, just anything that's unique to you. Try and find that and put that into your videos to make you stand out from the rest of the crowd. Mandy, you have any advice?
Well, I don't know if I'm really in a position to be giving advice. I'm pretty new myself, but I can say I learned a lot from you guys for sure. But if someone came to me and said, I want to do it, what should I do? I would say, just do it. Like, it's so much fun. If you're having fun with it, just do it. Don't worry about numbers. Don't worry about subscribers. Don't worry about comments. Just do it. And like, kind of like what you said, Goose, find something that you can bring to the table that's a little bit unique. And then, like you said, Pirate, do it. You know, if you enjoy it, they're going to enjoy watching you do it. You know, they're going to enjoy watching you have a good time. So I just do it, man. Just do it. It's fun. Have fun. And that's it.
I think that's probably the best advice out of all three of us. So the last question, other than YouTube and gaming, what are some of your other passions? For me, it's books. I read books, anime, and gaming. That's probably the order in which I'm excited about shit. But I like making videos about gaming more than anything else. But yeah, books, anime, and gaming. That's it for me.
Very cool.
What about you?
What about you?
Mine is animals. So I am a crazy animal lady. All animals, literally down to bugs. I love them all. Spiders, scorpions. I have 10 animals now because we actually just got a new kitten the other day.
Crazy cat lady.
We found a stray kitten, so now she is the newest member of the family. And so yeah, now I have 10 altogether. I don't know if you want me to list them, but
list their types at least.
So we have the 3 cats now, 2 dogs. I have a ball python snake. I have a gecko and 3 pet rats. And then I also have a fish tank. But, you know.
Nothing's in the fish tank.
But
Cats ate it all.
Yeah, I'm not going to list everything.
Oh, and your thousands of crickets.
And I have crickets that I feed to the gecko that, yeah, you can usually hear in the background of the videos sometimes.
Pirate, what about you, man?
So... I think I've only had like 2 real passions in my life. And the first, of course, is gaming, and the second is lifting heavy weight over and over again. Like, I don't know, I love working out, man. I don't run. I'm a fat guy. I love to eat, but I want to be able to pick up a truck one of these days. And you know, like I lift heavy, man. That's what I do. So that's really only the other passion. Like I wasn't into models or, you know, anything like that. Like playing with toys is neat, but yeah, I think the only 2 passions I've ever really had was gaming and lifting. So pretty boring.
No.
So that's gonna wrap it up for our little AMA. Let's move on to the topic of discussion for this week, which is what is the most. This was picked by Pirate. What is the most important aspect to make a game fun? Graphics, gameplay, social, story, etc. What do you guys think? What do we think? What do you guys think? What does make a game fun? Pirate, what do you got to say on this?
So for me, the social aspect of gaming is what makes games fun. You know, I would actually go all the way back to Halo 2. Halo 2 is the first game I really remember. We had a clan. There was clan battles. You know, you the level of your clan depended on how well you did. And we had a very close community. You know, of course, there were only 5 people could play at a time, but we had like 6 or 7 people that, you know, were alternates. And, you know, it was just so much fun. And ever since then, you know, I've went from game to game and always had social experiences. You know, I played a ton of World of Warcraft, played a ton of, like, Diablo, America's Army, like I said earlier. You know, and even Paragon to an extent, you know, at the end of the match in Paragon, if someone was good on, you know, on the enemy team or whatever, I used to send messages to people all the time, like, hey man, you were awesome, want to team up? And that, again, that's how I started YouTube. That's how I started the Minions Discord. Everything like that it was just all a social experience. And for me, even the other day when we played Sundown, I would say I would never play that game, but it was an absolute blast playing with y'all. And so to me, the social aspect of games is definitely the biggest thing, because, you know, unless you're having fun with other people, who cares about the graphics? You know, and again, I don't really play a whole lot of single-player games. Last one I played was, I think, Horizon, and I just blew through the story because I wanted to get back to playing Paragon. So, yeah, to me, my most important thing is the social aspect of gaming. What about you, Mandy?
I almost chose social, but for me personally, I went with gameplay. Because to me, even though I've said in the past, and this is so true, I am a graphics snob, it doesn't really matter what a game looks like. It doesn't really matter who, you know, you're playing with or what the game is about as far as like story and stuff like that. If the base gameplay and like the mechanics and the way the game runs, if that's not fun, the game's not fun. And again, this is just my personal opinion. I do play a lot of single player games, so I think that's why I went more with gameplay. But yeah, like if that stuff's if your basic kind of gameplay isn't fun, what's the point? You know, are you really gonna have fun? So I went with gameplay.
For me, I think it's just how immersive the game is. There's a lot of things that can contribute to that. It could be gameplay, it could be the graphics, it could be sound effects, it could be any number of things. But as long as it creates an immersive atmosphere, you can get an immersive atmosphere with, you know, low quality everything. Look at Undertale. Undertale was very immersive. I loved that game, and it looked like an Atari game. And but I think that's what set Paragon apart from so many other games, is like Smite is not immersive. Smite is a 3D MOBA like Paragon was, and you know, Paragon did have the Z-axis, whereas Smite kind of does, but not really. But that's not what set Paragon apart from Smite. What set Paragon apart from Smite was how immersive it was. Like when you threw out a Richter pool, let's say getting hit by a Richter pool, it felt like you just got hit by something. Oh yeah. Like your camera would shake, you would fly into him. It was scary as shit. just running through the jungles in Paragon was just, you had to keep looking everywhere for any possible ganks. I think, like I said with Predecessor, when they were showing off their mural animations, like, it looks like she's about to go do something fucking cool, and that's what you want to see in the game. You want the game to transport you into the game, and out of real life for a little bit, so you can just kind of lose yourself. And I think Paragon did a great job of that, and hopefully these other companies will be able to pick up the slack on that and bring that back to us.
Yeah, you know a game's good. You know a game's good when you have dreams about playing the game. Like, you're walking around the jungle as Richter, you know, in your dreams, and you know, yeah, I've done that with a lot of games because, you know, you just spend so much time in them. But yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah,
that was just a great answer. Yeah,
if you get immersed into the game, I guess.
That's kind of another thing too. Like, if the game makes you like think, well, if I would have done this different, I would have had a better outcome. If you think that and you're thinking it all day, like, how can I change this so that I can do this better? Then you've got a good game on your hands. If it makes you think about that and like kind of.
And Paragon did that all the time.
Yes, it did. From the card system to your ability usage, everything.
That's why I hate relics. Because when someone pops beads and ages, ain't nothing you can do about it. Yeah, that's a great point about how well you get wrapped up either in the story or just how good it looks or anything like that. Yeah, spot on, man.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably it for the topic of discussion. I didn't list it on the notes, but we did have a fan suggestion, which was from Cat Pharaoh, and it was for a spider hero that can walk on walls for any of the games and kind of web people as they go by. And actually, talking to Ruba, Paragon, Epic actually had a hero like this planned for Paragon. It was a hero named Hatch. They just couldn't get it to work right. Couldn't get it to stick on the walls like they wanted it to. Huh. What do you guys think about that? A spider hero in Paragon?
I think it'd be terrible. You know,
really? Why?
Maybe with something like Ethereal, where they've kind of already got that aspect with the assassins, but like, I just see a lot of problems with it. Could you imagine trying to hit a spider that's on a wall with a Gideon rock?
Oh yeah, I didn't.
You know, things like that. I think it would just create so many problems, and then you've got this just super unique hero, kind of like Revenant. You know, you've got these just crazy unique heroes that they're going to be very, very hard to balance. I mean, Wukong. When you've got these just kind of break the mold type heroes, once they put it in the game, they can't take it out. And so I think if you just came out with one hero that did that, yeah, you'd have to have, you know, some kind of item, or like maybe if he ever gets hit by anything, they fall off the wall, something like that. I mean, it'd be cool to look into, but I wouldn't have liked that in Paragon. Again, like with something like Ethereal, we're kind of already getting that, so it would make sense. But could you imagine like a Kalari staying invisible and attacking you? Like, okay, yeah, that happened all the time. But now imagine a Kalari jumping down from a fucking wall and attacking you. You know, so
that's a good point about the Gideon rock too, like AoE ground effects. Like it would. You could,
yeah, and like you know, you just have a whole line of things. Would smash and grab jerk him off the wall. You know, things like that. I think there'd be a lot of problems. And you know, Countess, you know, with her Dark Tide hit anybody that was above it. You know, like if you couldn't jump over her Dark Tide, so she could just walk up to a wall and like, phew, you're dead. You know, I think there'd be just a ton of issues with it. Whether or not it's good for gameplay, I think just the amount of issues that something like that would bring up would be game-breaking in itself.
Sounds like that might be true since, you know, Epic couldn't get it to work.
Yeah, right. So, guys, if you have suggestions for us, just leave them down in the comments or hit us up on Twitch if you're going to join us for the after show. And yeah, we'll try and work them into the show. I think that's it for now. Also, if you're watching the YouTube video, leave down in the comments. Let us know what you think your most important aspect of a game is. And then I think that's it for that. Let's go with plugs. Videos. You guys got any videos coming out this week that you want to let people know about?
No. I think I might have something planned for Christmas coming up, but you know, I'm still plugging away at the animations. I'm redoing all of it. It's taking forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm redoing. Like, I'm gonna completely redo Gideon. I'm gonna completely redo Countess. Just because the mouth animations are very, very strange. Especially with Gideon, you know, since he's just a skull. I was thinking about having him put a hat on, and the hat's the Gideon head, but it looks really weird when I do that. So I'm just going to completely scrap everything and redo it, and have it all kind of the same art style and everything like that. So, and guys, by no means am I an artist. I painted my first drawing 3 days ago. So it might take a little bit, but you know, it's a project of passion, so that's always great motivation to get it done. What about you, Mandy? Got shameless plugs?
I'm working on a few things, but they are not Paragon or MOBA related, so I don't know how interested our crowd will be.
That's cool. I'm sure this will be interested.
Yeah, just I'm working on a video for the upcoming game Anthem that's coming out in February, because I'm super excited for that. So that's kind of my main focus right now, what I've been working on.
Oh, right on. Looking forward to it.
What about you?
I've almost got Paragon Blues done.
Hey!
You guys ever seen the Red versus Blue series I did? I'm going to release the first 3 episodes that I did as just kind of a combo package, just to get people caught up. But people really like those. I thought they were funny. I think they're probably the funniest videos I've ever done. But and they're going to be way better. I've already got 6 of them scripted out. So that's
wow, working hard.
Well, that's it for plugs, I think. Did you have something, Pirate?
Nope.
All right, cool. So today's episode has been brought to you by Freddy Kroger's. Located on 13 Elm Street, it is the grocery store of your dreams, where they're always slashing prices. It's a shopping experience to die for. Freddy Kroger's. Now, I think if you're watching this on Twitch when we're streaming it, go ahead and stick around for chill time. We're going to hang out with you guys. If you're watching this on the premiere, the video is about to end rather abruptly, and I apologize for that. Exit chat now. If you're watching this on the video, it is also about to end. So I think that's it for now. So prepared a little outro this time. Paragon may be dead, yet the minions march on. The community has picked up the fallen torch and are marching down separate lanes to victory. So yeah, let's join the wave and back them up for the minions.
For the minions.
All right.
Mango.